What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Not Tuah Podcast. I'm your host, and this is my second time recording this episode. I was updating Fortnite on my computer. Fortnite Battle Royale Chapter 2 Remix coming out today, or has come out today, I believe. I'm not sure if the server's not back up. I was updating Fortnite in the background, and for those of you who have not played Fortnite, consider yourself lucky, because you have not had to deal with the fucking virus, pretty much. The virus that is the Epic Games launcher. Anytime I turn that thing on, my computer grinds to a halt. Unusable. It had been a while since I played Fortnite, so I guess I forgot that it does that. So I launched the Epic Games launcher and I went to update Fortnite. And it was showing a 55 gigabyte update. Totally normal. I guess it is a completely new game. Going back to Chapter 2. New map, new loot, new skins. It can be smaller than 55 gigabytes, I'm sure. Speaking of Fortnite, by the way, Fortnite will be discussed as a topic on this episode of the podcast. I'll be discussing some leaked info, however. So if you are an avid Fortnite player and you would like to avoid leaked info, that'll be the last topic of the podcast. And then I'll make sure to bring it up before I start talking about it. I should probably include that in my notes. Okay. So, yes, so I was updating Fortnite. It said it was going to be a 55 gigabyte download. And I was like, okay, well, this is going to take some time. I guess I can record the podcast while I wait for it to finish updating. And I did. I started recording the podcast. I got like 5 minutes in. The Epic Games Launcher does what the Epic Games Launcher does. Does what the Epic Games Launcher does. And just crashed everything. Audacity, Firefox, Discord, my file explorer, the settings menu, everything just closed. The Epic Games Launcher was the last man standing. So that was fun. Didn't even get to save the project. But yeah, man, that's the price you get for playing Fortnite. Luckily, it was only 5 minutes in. So in those 5 minutes, I'll give you a quick recap, because I can't be bothered to say all that again. In those 5 minutes, I discussed, I'm gonna like try and change up the show a little bit, right? The last 3-4 episodes. 3 public, 1 lost media episode. All of them have just been me yapping to the mic alone. And there will be plenty of yapping alone in this episode as well. So if you're a fan of the yapping, fret not. But I do also want to discuss a news article, a news story even. So I've made sure to select a very neutral news source, the BBC, the British Broadcasting Corporation, or company maybe. They seem pretty neutral. I looked it up. They are pretty neutral and more fact-based analysis. So, I'm gonna be informing you guys of the news story. You guys have probably heard it, but I'm gonna inform you anyways. Give my thoughts and opinions. Much needed contribution to the discussion here. My thoughts and my opinions. I'm gonna try and make it entertaining. No promises, but I'm gonna try and make it entertaining. So we have that, and then also, this is the first episode of the podcast recorded for Spotify. It'll be coming to YouTube as well, but it's the first brand new episode that goes on Spotify. Initially the podcast started as just like a thing between me and my friends, and then we went public on YouTube, and then we went public on Spotify. So yeah, if you're listening to this on Spotify, there's a little poll with every episode. If I remember to add one, that is. But there's a little poll with every episode, and I'd appreciate it if you can vote it on the poll, because that is a new segment that I will be adding to the show called Poll Review or Poll Checkup. I'm not sure what I'm going to call it yet, but that is a new segment on the show. I look back at the poll and I, discuss the answer of the poll, and it'd be a fun way to like tie together all the episodes, make it a bit more cohesive. Um, yeah. So there's that, and then also just me yapping as well. So okay, so enough preamble, and without further ado, let's begin. All right, the first topic on my list here, Uber rides. Now, for those of you who've listened to episode 3 of the Not Tuah Podcast featuring special guest The Batfish, I did mention that I do take a lot of Uber rides, specifically Uber motorcycle rides. Very common here in India. Not sure about other countries. Maybe in other countries which have like as big of a motorcycle culture as India does. I know plenty of countries in Southeast Asia do. Like the Vietnam, Thailand, Cambodia. Is that Southeast Asia? Maybe. Do they have a bike culture? I don't know. So maybe Uber motorcycle is popular there as well. But yeah, up until recently, once a week I had to do like a 10-kilometer journey one way. And so for that I would take an Uber motorcycle, prohibitively expensive, and I also had like luggage that I had to carry with me. So obviously you're on a motorcycle, there's nowhere for the luggage to go but to hold it. So there was one that was like a very heavy bag situation, like a duffel bag. So I just kind of had that like strapped across my chest. It was those bags that, never mind. I was going to say the one that bank robbers carry, but people probably associate the burlap sack with the dollar sign on it. That's probably what they think of when I say bank robber bags. That looks pretty quiet. I should speak up a bit more, or maybe move the mic closer. Okay. So there was that bag, and then I also had my laptop bag, which had obviously my laptop, my head pahonies, dank pot reference, my headphones, my mouse, my keyboard, everything really. So it was a very weighty package that I was carrying. Packages, there were 2 of them. Plenty of times my hand cramped up, right? I could barely feel it, and it felt like someone else was moving my hands. So that wasn't fun, but what you gonna do? Hit the mic stand there. Apologies, I apologize for that. For hitting the mic stand. I'm gonna do it again. Okay, so that was a bad idea, because when I hit the mic stand, I accidentally disconnected the mic, and so I'm not gonna do that again. My bad, my mistake. Won't happen again. On purpose, might happen on accident. Okay, what was I talking about? Right, my Uber ride. So I've had plenty of bad experiences with Uber drivers. There was one. I was on my way to an exam. This is the 10-kilometer journey that I have to do every week. But I was on my way to an exam, final exam, even. This one was even farther away. I think this one like 17 kilometers maybe, or 13. But anyway, this guy showed up. My exam was at 10 a.m. And this guy showed up at 9, I think. It took like 40-ish minutes to get to the exam center. So, I wasn't too worried. I was kind of worried. But I wasn't too worried, you know? So, the guy showed up at 9 o'clock. I booked my Uber. Like, I opened the app and I started searching at like 8:30, 8:45, around that time. So, it took me 15 minutes to get a ride. He showed up at 9. He took me for like 10 minutes. And I went maybe 2 kilometers away from my house. 2 or 3 kilometers. And he told me, get off, you're too fat. My bike can't handle this. And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? What the fuck do you mean I'm too fat? You know? That motherfucker pissed me off, dude, so much. I wanted to punch him in the face. And that he still demanded payment. He still demanded payment. I was like, you didn't take me where I need to go. You know? But like, I was stressed. It was, I was gonna be late for the exam. I could feel it. I was gonna be late. So I was like, okay, whatever, man, fine. And I paid him. Didn't pay him for the full ride. I paid him for the 2 kilometers that he took me, which was something like 40, 50 rupees, I think. Yeah. Anyway, so I paid the man, and I was like, okay, you know what, fuck you, kill yourself. I'm gonna book another Uber. Thankfully, I opened the app and I booked another one, and got accepted within like 10 seconds. The guy went right behind me. The new Uber bike guy went right behind me. So I'm sure he saw me get into this powwow. Get into this powwow with the original Uber driver. But no, he was still. I gave the second guy 5 stars. I reported the first guy to Uber. 1 star and a report. He's probably banned off the app. Which good. You know, good. I'm not even that overweight. You know, I've seen people fatter than me. I am very beryllious, very rotund. But I've seen more rotund people, alright? And also, that is such a fucking bitch-ass, stupid, inconsiderate thing to say. You're too fat to ride on my bike. Like, bro, don't do fucking Uber then, you know? I'm getting a little bit excited. It was my voice going higher. That's how I know I'm putting too much effort into this. Second guy got me there early, I think. Earlier than I would have expected. Got me there at like 9:50. So yeah, shout out to the second Uber guy. I don't know his name. But I did give you a 5 star on the app. So, yeah. That's not even... So, that was one of my Uber experiences. Another time... Not even another time. This is like a general trend with the Uber drivers. A lot of them... Okay, this is a little bit of a tie-in to episode 3 with the Batfish. But, on a lot of our bikes, right, we have the kickstart thingy. We also do have the button on the handlebar that starts the engine. But we also have a kickstart thingy on the side of the bike. And I don't know why. But the kickstart thing is positioned in the exact perfect place where if the driver were to kick it down to start the engine, their foot would collide with the passenger footrest. You know? Like, I'm trying to explain it visually, but again, this is a podcast, this is an audio medium. But, so my foot is on the passenger footrest, or the pillion rider footrest. And The guy goes to like kickstart the engine. Boom! Kicks my feet or my foot, just the one. Kicks my foot. Hurts a lot. Because you do need to put a considerable amount of force into the kick. And that's like, it doesn't bother me too much. Because like, if you're a normal Uber driver, right, you're only doing that at the start of the ride. So I know to expect it. I move my foot out the way. Okay? Move my foot out the way. You kickstart the bike. We're golden. We're zooming. Alright? But there are, it's not a lot. It's not an overwhelming amount, but there is a considerable amount of Uber drivers who turn their bike off at every opportunity they get. Red light, bike turns off. Stuck in traffic, bike goes off. And I guess that's the only two situations where you would turn the bike off. But no man, it's annoying because then I have to keep moving my foot. And sometimes I don't realize, like, oh shit, the light's green, he's about to kickstart the engine, better move my foot. I don't realize. So I get kicked in the foot again. They turn off the bike in order to like conserve gas, because if the engine's not running, obviously the gas isn't being used up. But like, I've done a bit of research, okay? This might have been a good topic to bring up with the Batfish, because he knows about the engine. But apparently when you start the engine of any vehicle, it like injects a burst of fuel into the engine to make the starting process easier or something. So it injects a burst of fuel, and that burst that it sends in is more fuel than would be used up if you're idling. If you keep the engine on during the red light. So not saving fuel, and then it also like wears down your battery, because like electricity, you need electricity to start the engine apparently. Wears down the battery, wears down the starter motor and the ring gear as well. I'm reading this off of reddit.com/r/cars. So I'm not a car enthusiast. So I had to do a little bit of research. I had to look it up. I had to memorize the terms. It would cause excessive wear to your starter motor, ring gear, and battery, compared to the couple of dollars you would save on petrol and potential of a breakdown. It's not very economic, according to Reddit user JZMA70. Thank you, Reddit user JZMA70, for validating my annoyance. Yeah, man, just like don't fucking stop the engine at every red light. It's not that serious. Okay. And, okay, oh my god, the final Uber guy I'd like to discuss is my most recent Uber guy, the last one that I took. We were en route, we were driving. This motherfucker stops in the middle of nowhere. Right? It was at night time. And we stopped in the middle of this deserted ass road. No lights on. All the street lights were like broken or something. Stopped in the middle of the road. Tells me, listen man, I gotta go pee. You chill out here for a second. Alright? So I was like, okay. He fucks off somewhere. I don't see him. Fucks off somewhere for like, it wasn't that long. It was like maybe 40-45 seconds. Quick piss. My piss take longer than 45 seconds. He does his business. And he comes back. And, his hand's not washed. Because obviously, like, he didn't have any water on him. And again, middle of nowhere, deserted, abandoned road. There's no public bathrooms. So, I don't know. He just like drove the bike with like, well, probably not piss covered, but like presumably the hand. It's a little bit of NSFW talk here. So if then on the speakers in your coffee shop or something, maybe turn it off. Uh, uh, his hand must have touched his dick at some point, right? Either when he's like taking it out, or when he's putting it back in, or to like guide the stream, you know. His hand must have been on his dick at some point, is what I'm trying to say. And then he didn't wash them, and then he drove the bike. I don't know, man. Something about that seems incredibly unhygienic to me. I would not do that. I'd rather hold in my piss. You know? Yeah. Oh, the same guy. He ran on empty. Like, no petrol. I saw the gas gauge. Completely empty. And whenever he slowed down, the fucking bike would stop. Because they didn't have enough petrol. When I got on the bike, it was on empty. So I don't know how he made that 10k journey. At least he didn't like purposefully stop in traffic. I guess he knew that it would inject a burst of fuel into the engine. Yeah. But yeah, man, I don't know. Like, I think if you're gonna drive Uber, right? First of all, don't call me fat. Don't call me fat and then drop me off, you know, so far away from my destination. First of all, don't do that. Okay? Second of all, don't fucking kick my feet in traffic. Third of all, I don't care if you show up with an empty gas tank. Just like fill it up before we continue with our destination, with our journey, okay? And don't ask me to pay for your gas. I've had people do that. They pick me up, take me to a gas station, they fill up and they're like, yo, can you pay me for the gas? You can take it off the final bill at the end. And I'm like, man, fucking, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? You know? Pretty annoying. I moved the mic stand again. I was so worried that it was gonna fucking disconnect again. God. Alright. Let's take a quick water break. Let me tell you about my water. Yeah. Bottoms up. Oops, hit the mic again. That's water, man. Water, great. Love water. Best liquid on Earth. Possibly in the universe. I don't know. Maybe Jupiter has some better water. But as far as I'm concerned, the water found on Earth, H2O, dihydrogen monoxide, best liquid. It was cool. It was crisp. I never thought. I thought people were stupid when they describe water and being crisp. I'm like, it's water, man. It's not that serious. But then I started taking my water seriously. I got like an insulated thermos type bottle. I started carrying my own water bottle. Right. Normally, I just walk up to the fridge. There'd be a bottle of water. This was the thing in the first episode. I would go British whenever I said bottle of water. But I go to the fridge, I take a bottle of water, and I drink the bottle of water right there. And then I put the bottle of water back in the fridge. Now I've started carrying my own bottle of water, right? Earlier it used to be just like a basic plastic, like sippy cup kind of bottle. But now it's a proper insulated metal thermos. And it keeps the water at the perfect temperature. Very cool. It's a little bit cooler than room temperature. I like cold water. humid, a little bit cooler than room temperature, not like ice cold, because I do have sensitive teeth. Oh, I should probably give you guys an update on the purple toothpaste. Works remarkably well. I think this is the whitest my teeth have ever been, really. That's, yeah. Would recommend the purple toothpaste. Again, not sponsored. I'm not naming any brand. If you see any toothpaste that is purple in color, buy it, I'd say. Anyway, yeah, back to the bottle of water. What was I saying? The bottle of water. Cool, crisp. Whatever, man. I lost my train of thought. Okay. Let's move on to the next topic. Let's move on to my ruined jeans. Alright. So I had a pair of jeans, basic like denim jeans, blue denim jeans, and they were so good, man. They were so comfortable. I had broken them in over many years, and now it was basically like wearing, slacks or track. I call them tracks, but it was very loose fitting. No, I can't think of the word. It looked like jeans, not baggy. They weren't baggy. I don't like baggy jeans. They were like normal looking jeans, They were normal looking jeans. I think they were a couple sizes bigger than me. Which, as mentioned earlier, I am quite rotund. So that's like, what the fuck? I have a size 41, I believe. And those jeans were a size 44. So, yeah, man, it was fun. I had to put on a belt, but I liked it because I had a good belt, a comfortable belt, not a good looking belt, but a comfortable belt. And I love those jeans. Shout out to the jeans. Sorry about that little burp. I don't know if you heard that. Showed up on the waveform, but I don't know. Yeah, shout out to those jeans. Unfortunately, they were taken away from me too soon by a fucking loose nail on the back of one of my benches in class. Every bench had like loose nails on the back. I don't know what's up with that. But yeah, the jeans, they got caught on the loose nail, completely ripped open the pocket segment of the jeans. You could see my underwear to it. And I still had 2 hours of class, man. I still had 2 hours of class. God. Okay, well. Yeah, so rest in peace to the fallen pair of jeans. They were real troopers. Hate to see them go. Alright. Let's move on to discussing this news story that I hyped up at the beginning. This news story, many of you might have heard about it already. The headline is, Russia finds Google more money than there is in entire world. And this was written by Graham Fraser for the BBC. Okay. A Russian court has fined Google 2 undecillion rubles, a 2 followed by 36 zeros, for restricting Russian state media channels on YouTube. In dollar terms, that means the tech giant has been told to pay. Now, hang on, let me pronounce this number real quick. 1, 10, 100,000, 10,000, 100,000, million, 10 million, 100 million, billion, 10 billion, 100 billion, trillion, 10 trillion, 100 trillion, quadrillion, 10 quadrillion, 100 quadrillion, quintillion, 10 quintillion, 100 quintillion, sextillion, 10 sextillion, 100 sextillion, septillion, 10 septillion, 100 septillion, octillion, 10 octillion, 100 octillion, nonillion, 10 nonillion, 100 nonillion, Decillion, 10 decillion, 20 decillion dollars. And yes, that was me flexing that I know how to pronounce big numbers. Okay? $20 decillion. That's a 2 followed by 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33. That's a 2 followed by 34 zeros. 20 decillion. Despite being one of the world's wealthiest companies, that is considerably more than the $2 trillion Google is worth. Yeah. In fact, it is far greater than the world's total GDP, which is estimated by the International Monetary Fund to be 110 trillion. Now, that is the most surprising, not the most, well, maybe. It's a very surprising part of the article that Google's total GDP is $2 trillion and the world's total GDP is $110 trillion. Right? When you do the math, that means Google alone, one company, Google, is worth 1.8% of the world's total GDP. One company is worth 1.8%. That's crazy. That is crazy. The fine has reached such a gargantuan level because, as state news agency TASS has highlighted, it is rapidly increasing all the time. According to TASS, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov admitted he cannot even pronounce this number, but urged Google management to pay attention. Yeah, I'm not going to read the whole article because that's boring. But basically, what they're saying is that there was some objectionable, according to Russia, there was some objectionable content on YouTube. And the Russian government told Google to be like, hey, can you not? Can you not? So that happened in July 2022. And that was their first fine, that was their first fine for 21.1 billion rubles or 301 million Great British pounds. I don't know how much that is in dollars. I think it's 1-to-1, isn't it? Almost 1-to-1 pound to dollars. But yeah, that was their first fine, I believe, in July 2022. And then recently, this recent $20 decillion fine, that's because YouTube has restricted 17 Russian news channels or Russian media channels on YouTube. And so the courts got mad. They were like, you can't do that. And so they fined Google. Yeah, man, that's... Oh, shit. I'm just knocking shit all over the place today. $20 decillion is crazy. More than the entire GDP of the planet is crazy. Now, it is a fine. So, I think that means, as long as Google doesn't pay off the fine, they can't operate in Russia. I believe. I'm not a fucking lawyer. Okay? This is not legal advice. Google, Sundar Pichai, if you're listening, this is not legal advice. Okay? Don't listen to what I have to say. I mean, do listen, but don't act upon the advice that I'm giving. So I believe a fine just means that they can't operate in Russia. Plenty of companies have stopped operating in Russia ever since they invaded Ukraine. It's fine, whatever. They don't have to. It's fine. They don't have to pay the fine. Am I right, chat? Yeah, man. That does make me wonder, though. Eventually, when the war is over, it doesn't matter who wins. eventually, like in Google, it's not gonna go back to Russia like ever. Or I think eventually once the war is over and once like a different, hopefully better government than Putin comes into place, um, you know, they might like undo the fine or they might cancel the fine, and Google might come back to Russia. A lot of ifs though, a lot of ifs, buts, and maybes. But yeah, I don't think obviously, fucking obviously, I don't think Google is gonna pay $20 decillion to Russia. But I also don't see them, forever having no presence in the Russian market. I think eventually they are gonna come back to Russia. It just means there needs to be a lot of the stars need to align, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Alright, there we go. That was my insightful political commentary. Oh god, you know what? I'm recording this the day it comes out. I always record my podcast the day it comes out. I'm gonna move the mic again. Gotta pray that it doesn't DC. Okay. We're looking good. We're looking fine. Alright. Yeah, I always record my podcast the day they come out. Like literally, I stop recording, and then I do a little bit of audio tweaking because I have a fan running. So I do a little bit of audio tweaking to remove the fan noise, and then boom, immediately straight onto Spotify and YouTube. So yeah, I'm recording this on the 2nd of November 2024, and the biggest election of the year, the election for President of the United States, gonna commence in 72 hours on the 5th of November 2024. So the next podcast is gonna come out on the 9th, and we'll probably know who wins by the 9th. So a little bit of discussion of that perhaps will follow. Again, do keep in mind, I'm stupid, I don't know anything. But yeah, just I'm forewarning you guys, there will be a little bit of political discussion on the 9th, on the next episode. So consider yourself warned. Alright. Okay. So as I mentioned, I did move to Spotify. The move to Spotify was confusing because I already have a Spotify account, and I thought I could just upload a podcast to the Spotify account. But no, I needed to make a Spotify for podcasters account, which that's not communicated clearly at all, I don't think. So I had to go through all that. I had to make the Spotify for podcasters account, and then it just linked up with my normal Spotify account anyways. Like, what's the point? What's the point? But one good thing about Spotify, in that, as mentioned earlier, it lets me put polls on the episode. So far I put all 3 episodes up on Spotify. Each of them has a poll associated with it. Unfortunately, only one of them has any number of votes, and that's only one vote on the poll for episode number 3, the Not Tuah Podcast number 3, Linux and Byte, featuring the Batfish. The poll question: will you switch to Linux? And the 2 options were yes, and I will use Arch, by the way, and no, I love Fortnite. And according to my statistics, according to the one voter that I see here, no, I love Fortnite has won. So there we go, from our incredibly representative sample size. No one is switching to Linux anymore. So if you're a Linux diehard, Linus, if you're listening, my condolences. Yeah, man, you gotta work on bringing Fortnite support to Linux. Maybe that'll boost the numbers up a little bit. Okay. I'm sure there will be a poll in this episode as well. Do make sure. Yes, that's the thing. Do make sure to vote in this poll. This is as important a poll as the one on the 5th of November. I'm just saying. So, alright. We've hit 40 minutes. That's about as long as a normal episode of the podcast. It's time for me to discuss leaked Fortnite content if you want to keep the surprise, I guess. Feel free to hop off this pod, hop off my dick, hop off the pod. But for the rest of you, let's discuss some leaked Fortnite content. Alright. As I mentioned earlier in this episode, today, the 2nd of November 2024, is the launch date of Fortnite Chapter 2 Remix. Now, unfortunately, Fortnite Chapter 2 Remix is a collaboration season. We just got off the Marvel season. That was a collab season. But no, Fortnite Chapter 2 Remix is a collab season between Snoop Dogg or Snoop Lion. Or he changed his name from Snoop Dogg to Snoop Lion, and then from Snoop Lion back to Snoop Dogg. So it's a collaboration between Snoop Dogg and Ice Spice and Eminem and Juice WRLD, and then there's someone else, I think. Oh no, there's just 4. Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Ice Spice, and Juice WRLD. Let me make sure I got this right. Hold up. Yes, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Ice Spice, Juice WRLD. Okay. So it's a collab between all 4 of those artists. And each week, a new POI from Chapter 2 is gonna be remixed. Get it? Because remix is the music term. Gonna be remixed and themed after one of these 4 artists. The Agency gonna be themed after Snoop Dogg. The Grotto gonna be themed after Eminem. The Shark gonna be themed after Ice Spice. And then Something in the Sky about Juice WRLD. Which, it's fine by me. Not really, but they didn't touch the docks, Dirty Docks. Dirty Docks is my favorite POI on the Chapter 2 island. So I'm glad they didn't meddle with that. I can still play on Dirty Docks for a bit. Oh, and they're also introducing shoes into Fortnite. Kick, a new cosmetic type that will be featured for the first time in the remix pass with a pair of Jordans. So, yeah. So after Chapter 2 Remix, we're gonna get Fortnite Chapter 6, which is crazy. Because I remember I stopped playing around Chapter 3. I played a little bit of Chapter 4. I played the first 2 seasons on and off. And then Chapter 5 also, I played the first 2 seasons on and off. The rest of both chapters, I didn't really play much. They kind of fell off. Honestly, Donald Mustard, the main creative lead, I believe you're the main creative lead. The main guy behind Fortnite, he left. He left at the end of Chapter 3. So maybe that explains why everything since chapter 3 has not been as good. Chapter 3, I go as far as to say chapter 3 was my favorite chapter of Fortnite. And I say this as someone who played chapters 1 and 2. I think chapter 3 was the best. In my mind, the Fortnite storyline, the Fortnite lore, ended in chapter 3. It's a bit of an ambiguous ending, but it did end in chapter 3. And in chapter 4 onward, 4, 5, 6, non-canon. Non-canon to the Fortnite universe. Yeah, okay. And then finally, the final piece of leaked content that I would like to talk about. Epic Games is developing a new Fortnite mode, which may be a permanent version of Fortnite OG. That's the Chapter 1 that they brought back. It has a similar loot pool to Chapter 1 Season 1, supports 100 players, has solos, duos, and squads with 0 build available. Now, my take on this issue is that they're going about it the wrong way. Okay? Chapter 1 was good. It took the world by storm because people were new to the game. Right? People were new to the game. All of these crazy strategies have not been developed. The building aspect, completely new, never before seen in a shooter game. Or the way they implemented the building aspect anyway, never before seen in a shooter game. And, part of the magic of early Fortnite was the novelty. Right? It came out right when the Battle Royale genre was popping off. PUBG was the pioneer in that field. But it was paid. PUBG is now also free to play. So Fortnite swooped in. They got the free to play Battle Royale mode. Okay? Free to play Battle Royale mode. And it was a new concept. The building was a completely new mechanic. Like I said, part of the magic of early Fortnite was the novelty. Right? You can't capture that same novelty by bringing back an old thing. That's like the complete opposite of what you should be doing. Right? In my mind, I don't think they should be working on this nostalgia bait like 6 years ago. They shouldn't be working on that. They should be working more on improving the current seasons of Fortnite. The current and the future seasons of Fortnite. They should be putting their resources towards that. And also, Epic Games, Fortnite, if you're listening, Tim Sweeney, if you're listening, get rid of the fucking music mode and the Lego mode and the racing mode. Get rid of them. I don't want to see them. I don't want to see them. Okay, no one asked. Yeah. Get rid of those. Focus on the current and future seasons of Fortnite. And, I feel like you can see another resurgence. I think genuinely, I'm being 100% serious right now. Genuinely, if they play their cards right, Fortnite can come back on top. I believe, I have faith. Okay? Play your cards right, Fortnite will once again be the biggest game in the world. Okay? The heartfelt, sincere letter from a Fortnite fan to Epic Games. I got a little bit teared up at the end. Oh man, I'm passionate about Fortnite, dude. I'm passionate. I'd like to see it go back to its glory days. you know? A little bit of water drinking ASMR there. I don't know how loud it is. The waveform like kinda moved, but not a lot. Alright, man, we've been at it for 50 minutes. I'd say time to end it. You know, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for listening. This was the Not Tuah Podcast. For legal reasons, then the Not Tuah Podcast. Very distinct from the Talk Tuah Podcast. I am not associated with Haley Welch or the Talk Tuah Podcast team. Alright, I've been your host, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye, everybody. See you later.